JCPS is hosting. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, folks, because I want to make sure that my audio is good. So JCPS in the Neighborhood Place, they cut the ribbon on a newly renovated first neighborhood place that's located at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. First opened in 1993, and this site was Louisville's first 8 neighborhood places that has long served as a vital access point for families receiving social services and other things that can help them. So let's jump into this press conference and listen in.
Because we need to have that understanding and meet them where they are at. So I'll just say in closing for me is just that I appreciate everything. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate the renovation, but I always keep in mind that the neighbors, the neighborhood is the reason why we are here. Thank you.
Amen.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is a great day to be here. My name is Cassandra Miller, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as Executive Administrator with the Office of Social Service with Louisville Metro Government. Coming in to this building today, I got a little choked up and a little emotional, because just a little history fact about me is that this is where I started at some 30 years ago. About 30 years ago, this is where I started. And to see from whence we came. It has always had a very good spirit and aura to it. First Neighborhood Place has always had that. Starting with our first administrator, Joanne Wise. I did not work for her. She was here I came just a little after she left. But I did work with Mr. Unseld, and when I walked into this room and I saw Mr. Unseld's picture over there, it was almost kind of like a full circle moment. The other person that is on this table too is Miss Gloria Mormon, and she is the lady that actually hired me into Louisville Metro Government. And then, funny how things work, I then hired her to come back and work as the site administrator. But it's just always been a really, really, really good feel. And if anybody knows anything about Mr. Unseld, who was a true champion for the Newburgh and Norfolk community, I just working for him, he had me just doing some stuff. I was thinking about that on my way over here. Like, I remember it was Norfolk Day. It was the very first Norfolk moment. Like, it was the first community festival they were having. And he had the heart of a champion and a heart for kids and just a heart for just everything. He was a big man in stature, but his heart was even bigger. But he said, Cassandra, we got to do something real, real special for the kids. And I said, okay, I can put together some candy bags and we can have some little games. And he was like, no, I'm kind of thinking a little something more than that. And I said, okay, well, you know what? And he said, we need to do some magic tricks. And I said, that's a great idea. We had no budget, it's similar to what now. We had no budget to do that. And he looks at me and he says, I think you'll be a good magician. And I promise you, I did that over in Norfolk Day. I put on a whole clown suit and did magic. And then, you didn't have social media and you didn't really have Google. And I thought, well, where am I going to learn a magic trick? And I don't even know how or where I learned the magic trick from, but I do remember I had 2 little red balls and you squish them together and they made 3 balls. Y'all remember that? Yeah, I think I remember that. Well, I did that for First Neighborhood Place. So that's a little bit about me. So anyways, it's always been a really good feel here. And when after this press conference is over, when you are able to just kind of walk the space, pay attention to the butterflies because they are very symbolic. That is something that Gloria Mormon, who was the site administrator here, her spirit was just that. And if you think about just what butterflies symbolize, it is very much what Neighborhood Place is. So all things renewal, commitment, rebirth, just all those things. And so you'll see those butterflies just kind of throughout the space in here. And so that is just very symbolic of Miss Gloria Mormon. Special people. All right. Again, good morning. It's exciting as we come together to recognize the power of partnership, community support, and shared commitment for our families and our children. We're especially honored that we will have 3 people speaking today, 3 leaders with us who work every day to strengthen Louisville through service, education, and opportunity. First speaker will be our mayor, Mayor Greenberg, whose dedication to building a stronger, more connected community that creates lasting impact across our neighborhoods. And Dr. Yearwood, I know I saw him right there. And we know that you've been busy, so we appreciate you being here. We're proud to welcome you, and it is your leadership and commitment to our students that ensures every child in Louisville has the opportunity to succeed in the resources that they have. And then we have Shantae West, who serves on our Neighborhood Plays Operations Committee. She is the one of 2 senior region associates whose leadership is to ensure that our most vulnerable kids have the resources that they need daily. So with that, I welcome Mayor Greenberg. After him, it will be Dr. Yearwood and then Shantae.
Well, thank you so much, Cassandra, and good morning, everyone. It is great to be with everyone here today as we kick off a new chapter for the first neighborhood place here in Louisville. Louisville's original neighborhood place that has provided crucial services to our community for over 30 years, including much needed services last week when we had some incredible weather that came through our community and neighborhood places were available to help support the community just as they always are. Before I talk about the neighborhood place, while we're talking about just our response to the cold weather and the snow, while we have so many cameras in the room, I think it is important to reiterate that last week and through even up until the wee hours of this morning, our crews at Louisville Metro Government have been working every day, virtually nonstop, and they have plowed more miles of road than at any point or any snow event in our city's history. So again, Louisville Metro Government has played more miles of road for this snow event than any snow event in our city's history. And we're still going. Over the weekend, Dr. Yearwood and I were on the phone every day, multiple times a day. There were hot spots that were identified to work to get JCPS open yesterday that we addressed. Yesterday, when they opened, we discovered a couple of more. Dr. Yearwood's teams and our teams connected. And again, last night and into this morning, we were treating those so that JCPS could once again be open for the kids of our community to go to school. So we know people are still looking for warm weather. I can assure you there are no 2 people on earth hoping for warm weather than Dr. Yearwood and me. But both of us and our teams are going to keep working. Just one final note on this before we get back to regularly scheduled business, and that is sidewalks. I just want to remind the entire community that if you have a sidewalk in front of your property, whether you're a homeowner or a commercial property owner, please clear your sidewalk. The sidewalks are the responsibility of the property owners in Louisville, and that would be a very neighborly thing to do, is to clear your sidewalk so others can use them. All right, back to the neighborhood place serving neighbors. But it's been incredible to think that 30 years ago, this space was a rifle range, I've been told. Yes. What a better use for this building and how lives have been improved as a result of the work. Ricky, thank you for your leadership and everything that you have done here. And I'm so excited about your continued leadership for the next chapter. You know, this neighborhood place and all of our neighborhood places really represent the best of what our city is all about. Represent great partnerships. Metro Government, JCPS, the Department for Community-Based Services, and so many others that are working together to strengthen families and to help all of our neighbors build a strong future. We know that when people are reaching out to Neighborhood Place, it is during some of their toughest times that they are dealing with. And the team here always shows up with solutions and support. Whether they need help with their rent, with utility payments, emergency food assistance, we're here. When there's maybe cases of child abuse or neglect in the house, we're here. If folks are looking for help with financial literacy and support to discover what their next chapter in life might be, we're here. The folks that are part of Neighborhood Place do their work with respect, with patience, with caring, with great integrity, and a commitment to serving every person to give them the support that they need. It's what our city is all about. It reflects the values of our community. It reflects our belief in people and in the future. And this is the type of collaboration that makes Louisville so special, that when we work together, we can help others and solve problems. And so that's what we're going to keep on doing through neighborhood places, through our works in our parks and recreation centers, through our libraries, by delivering meals to seniors, and the list goes on and on and on of ways that I am so proud that Louisville Metro government steps up to help our neighbors in challenging times like last week and for every day of the year. That's what the neighborhood place is all about. It's not easy work, but it's some of the most important work that we do. And so I'm so proud to continue to support neighborhood places. I'm so proud of the work that everyone is doing here. And it's my great honor, before we get to Dr. Yearwood, to present a couple of proclamations today. Ricky, if you and Cassandra would come back up. We've got two proclamations. First, proclaiming Ricky Owens, who has done such great work here in the first neighborhood, a distinguished citizen in our community. And on behalf, in honor of the entire team at this neighborhood place and all of the neighborhood places, Cassandra, if you will accept that we are declaring today throughout the entire city of Louisville the first Neighborhood Place Day. And now, as Cassandra mentioned, another individual who's working so hard every day to support the 90,000 plus families that take part in JCPS every day. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Yearwood.
Wow. Coming in, being new here, and hearing about the phenomenal work and dedication is just mind-blowing. You always talk about it takes a village to raise a child. But when you have a village that's strong, a village that values, really truly values people, lives, you become unstoppable. And that village is here. It's very evident. So thank you for it. Thank you all for joining us today in a time where JCPS continues to find strength in our community partners. Thank you, Mayor, for your support. Our schools wouldn't be thriving, and today I think I received like 2 emails. But the roads, I know, thank you for your help with that, sir. Wouldn't be possible without your help. Thank you. Our community partners, it's only fitting that we gather here where we have JCPS, we have Metro government, we have the Department of Community-Based Services, 7 counties, where they opened their first site in 1993. Appropriately named First Neighborhood Place. And as we look at this space, JCP provided a space with Thomas Jefferson Middle School by converting a former rifle range into an innovative place. So basically, you took a place that people were trained to take lives, and you created a place where we are saving lives.
Amen.
Come on now, come on. Okay. So again, here we can propel students forward, we can propel families forward. And as I was learning more, 1,000 families per day being touched here. And I'll tell you, it's much needed. In my history, I've been in education for 30-something years. I'll never forget the instances in which there was a young lady. She was in the 8th grade. She was in foster care because her and her younger sister were abandoned by their parents. And she learned to go find empty cans and empty boxes and stack the shelves. So when the social worker came by to visit, she found an excuse to let them be until it was finally discovered. But just think if there was a neighborhood place present what the difference that would have made
That's right.
in the life of that child. So we cannot take this for granted. This is a gem. This is a gem that I hope not only happens here in Louisville, but can take hold nationally and worldwide. This is a model for that. It's important that we show not only your children or families that there are people who truly can give them hope, give them true hope, so that they can excel in their lives. So, as we look at the staff from each partner agency being housed under one roof, having a collaborative model which embraced the Louisville community, second to none. Over the next, from my understanding, it took 10 years. There are 8 neighborhood places opened across Jefferson County, strategically located in areas with high concentration of students who receive free and reduced lunch. That's saving lives. It's not about just having a place to go, it's saving lives of children, giving them an opportunity to thrive in their environment. Ensuring services are accessible to those with the greatest need. This is how Louisville delivers for our students, working together under a shared goal, because we know the best way to care for families and educate students is through a seamless, coordinated support, which Neighborhood Place does exceptionally well. The work done here has been celebrated locally, I know, and nationally. And we need to see that continue. At JCPS, we know that learning doesn't begin at the classroom door. It doesn't start there. But students can't fully engage in academics when they're worried about things like food, housing, healthcare, safety, and stability at home. It affects them in ways that are just unimaginable for those young minds. Neighborhood Place is a proven model that removes those non-cognitive barriers to education by wrapping families in coordinated on-site supports, by meeting families where they are and addressing real-life challenges early. They're able to create conditions that students need, not what students want. Students need to attend school regularly and focus in class and stay engaged in learning. Think about that. We give students a leg up. We give students an opportunity to thrive because you take away the barriers that prevent them from having that true focus in our classroom, prevent them from focusing on reading and math and those things that we know are much needed to survive and thrive in our society. So when families are stable, students are more available to learn. And that directly drives things like improved attendance, decreases behaviors, inappropriate behaviors, and increases a true focus on academics. And that's what we need, and that's what you provide. So again, Neighborhood Place. I know there were several proclamations by the mayor. I love it. I hope that every day continues to be Neighborhood Place Day in Louisville. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Cassandra told us there weren't going to be cameras here. Okay. I feel a little differently. Thank you to the mayor and the superintendent for your wonderful words, and Cassandra put me last again after that, but I'm here. And I'm here as a little bit of lived experience for Neighborhood Place. When I first started working for DCPS, I started at Neighborhood Place on Barrett Avenue that unfortunately is no longer, but the sign still stands, almost perfect, as a testament to Neighborhood Place and kind of carrying on that work that goes on long beyond the building and what we're able to do inside the walls of the Neighborhood Place. So in the 2 years since I've been in this role, we have taken part in 3 Neighborhood Place renovations, and we're still renovating because we see such a benefit in the services and the camaraderie that is built between agencies here at Neighborhood Place. When I think of Neighborhood Place, funny, Cassandra, that you told that story about Norfolk, and I'm going to say it right because when I first moved to Louisville, that was one of the first places that I lived, right behind the basketball court. So when you were out there in your clown suit, I was probably needless to say, Neighborhood Place is more than just for those who are coming in for us to serve. It's also building the folks who work here professionally. And so as I look out into the audience, this is a family reunion of sorts. I see Miss Jackie Stamps, who led DCPS in the role that I'm in when I first came to the agency, and built so much into all of us about the importance of Neighborhood Place and continuing that work. I see Kim, who is right down the hall doing work that when we had families in partnership, that we really worked together with those integrated service meetings to talk about how all the agencies could come together to support the families that we were serving. And so Ben, I look at you, who's out on the snowstorms, and the mayor should know that Ben's out with his personal shovel. Dr. Avery. I saw Dr. Avery in here, so I just want to let you know. Oh, right in front of me. Okay. And then I see that we have, and I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, at least 2 of our DCBS former foster and adoptive parents in the room. And so this really is a family at Neighborhood Place, no matter what site that you're at. And I really thank all of those family members for building into me, who is now building into my staff, the importance of Neighborhood Place and the expectation that we honor the reason that Neighborhood Place came to be. And so I think about, someone shared this week, we were asking questions about different work, and they talked about advocacy to activism. And so Neighborhood Place really is the conduit of a lot of some of that work. And so as we meet as operations, that those are the conversations that we have. So I'm really great to see that the community is here as well, the community council that serves First Neighborhood Place, so that we just don't do what we think needs to be done, that we have folks with lived experience who are here to also guide us, and we listen.
Yes.
Because there is no use of us having a Neighborhood Place without the neighborhood being a part of the place. And so I just want to thank everybody for being here. And as we talk about advocacy to activism and that continuum, that we really need our community to show up. And so that when we have renovations like this, that you let your council people know, you let your mayor know, you let the superintendent know how Neighborhood Place has impacted you and the work that you want to see moving forward with Neighborhood Place, so that we have the resources to serve the most vulnerable in our communities, whether that's DCPS, JCPS, 7 counties, the Office for Social Services. It's all important. And so our commitment as DCPS is that in 2026 and moving beyond, that we are going to be present. And so I would be remiss if I didn't give my staff a shout out, because I want to thank you all for how you all show up for Neighborhood Place each and every day. So if you all could raise your hand, if you're DCPS staff, they don't want to raise their hand over here. But as I close out, because I know I'm not the star everybody came to see, but I really want to implore everybody to come and visit us, volunteer, and ask how you can show up for Neighborhood Place as well. We would love to have you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Shantae. I've got a script, but those who know me, I might write something down, but I'm going to go off script because I have been inspired this morning. Neighborhood Place does not just happen. It's intentional work that we make happen day in and day out since 1993. It gets no better than that. I can get emotional sometimes, so I'm going to try to keep myself together. But there is so much pride in this room. What we have through Neighborhood Place is something that other communities around our country wished that they had. They have come, they have visited us over the years, people throughout the country. Cassandra, we've had people from other countries, right, who have come to visit us to try to figure this out. We do something right because we have leaders that understand the importance of working together, coming out of silos. Jack, I remember you preaching that when I was a Frisky coordinator and when I came into this role, and your passion and your legacy continues. This is work that has been going on for 33 years, and it started here at First Neighborhood Place. Yes. So now I want to say this too, Ricky, you and I go back when we were both youth service center coordinators. I cannot think, and there have been wonderful people that have been the administrators who have served this community and this Louisville community well. I'm so glad that you are the administrator here at First Neighborhood Place. What I also want to say is this. I'm really going off script. But what I'm also wanting to say is the intentional piece of why Neighborhood Place continues to happen year after year. We know that for some of us, we're going through a storm right now. But when there's a commitment, the partners come together and we care for each other because we know there's not a better way to take care of our families than what we do through Neighborhood Place. If we're talking about student achievement, Dr. Yearwood, I can't think of a better system in place than Neighborhood Place, where, as you were saying, as we're meeting the basic needs of students, we're breaking down those non-cognitive barriers to education. This is how it happens. We can't do it in a silo, but we can do it if we're working together, and that is Neighborhood Place. The folks who work in and out of Neighborhood Place, and I want to talk specifically for First Neighborhood Place staff. You are the heartbeat of this community, and we applaud you for the work that you do, the passion you bring to this place every day when things don't always make sense in our community and with systems and in our country, but we come here and with the compassion, with our heart, we meet the needs of our families. And so we commend you for that. As I wrap up, and I do know I need to wrap up because we got a ribbon cutting, but there are two positions that were created at the very beginning of Neighborhood Place. There were the administrator positions, making sure that all of our 8 locations had someone in place to make sure that collaboration was happening. And I am so blessed that I've got 4 coordinators of community support. I want them to raise their hands with pride. I could not do what I do without those 4 coordinators who work with so much passion, who work alongside of the Friskies, making sure that as we're working with families that are really going through extreme situations, that they are the ones who help walk them through this Neighborhood Place process. I love you guys and I love working alongside of you. And so I just think we have a lot to celebrate. So without any further ado, I think we're going to transition over into the lobby of First Neighborhood Place, and we're going to have our ribbon cutting, and then we'll come back here where we've got cake and punch. Cassandra, is there anything else we need to share? With that, let's give a round of applause for
Good morning. I like the cardinal there. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, folks, thanks so much for staying with me here on this stream that we brought you about JCPS and the Neighborhood Place partnering together at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. Wave News reporter Fernando Garcia Franceschini is on this story for us today, and he's going to have much more later. I hope you all are staying warm out there and having a great day. I will see you on Wave News at 3.